Well, we are back at Podcast Central. Welcome to Coach Talk.
Welcome to Coach Talk, everyone. It's so good to be here with you today.
How are you, LJ?
I'm really good, Dave. Yourself?
Sensational. Back out in the sunshine still. I think this outdoor thing is going to suit us really well.
Yeah, it's definitely really improved my mood. Not that my mood's ever bad, but it's just so nice to get the opportunity to sit in the sun.
I think I'm an outdoorsy sort of person, as you know.
Yeah.
I think this is a great one for us. If we get the chance to sit outside and do this, can we do this more often?
We get to meet so many people when we go out and about, don't we?
This is fantastic.
That's the benefit of our little portable studio that we have. We get to go out and about and meet amazing people, hear the birds, hear the lawnmowers sometimes, the workmen, with the walkers. We've had lots of people wave at us, which is really cool as they're walking by.
It's been cool. Adaptability and flexibility.
Yeah, but we want to be part of the people.
Yeah.
Our voice is to help you spark better conversations with yourself, with your family, with others, and also we want to be able to talk to you and what inspires you and the people who inspire you within your own community. Yeah, who do you look up to?
100%. Inspiration is a big thing, and also as mindset coaches that we are, getting you to take action.
Yeah, action is a great thing.
Yeah. One
thing I know from talking to the people that I look up to is they're very humble people, or some people call it they're very grounded people.
Yeah. They
never forget the roots of where they come from, which keeps it real for them. And I love that we're going to be leaning into the topic of staying grounded today.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today in this podcast about the benefits of grounding.
Grounding's fantastic.
Grounding, which they also call earthing.
Okay.
Which is interesting. So normally it's grounding, and there may be a lot of people out there that know what this is, and I'm guessing there'll be a few that don't. And I find for me, when I started looking into this many years ago, I thought, not too sure about it, but I swear by it. I do, and I love the concept of how this works.
Yeah, we all know from when we were little how good it felt to take your shoes and socks off and to play in the sand pit, not so much walk on the hot stones, but definitely to walk through the grass.
Yeah.
How good is it to walk through the grass in bare feet?
It feels great. And what they're talking about is the practice of grounding is physically connecting with the earth's surface. And by touching your skin, walking barefoot, sitting, lying down on natural materials, it could be soil, grass, sand. The idea behind that is it allows for the exchange of electrons between the earth and us, which should have some sort of benefits to you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of research going on still about this. There are people that say it's ineffective, it doesn't work, and there are other people that say it's got a lot of benefit.
Yeah.
For me, I feel so much better when I'm lying on the grass, lying in a field or a paddock. And for me, being a motorbike rider, and I travel a lot, and I'd spend time just taking a break. If I sit against a tree, with a coffee, because
best thing to do.
Here's my coffee again.
And a book.
Or the local newspaper or something like that. I find that mood improves. My body feels good. I wake up and I feel as fatigued and tired. And it has a lot of benefits, and whether it's something I can just imagine or whether it's real or not, the talk and practice of grounding for me, I actually believe it has a lot of benefit.
It has some amazing benefits, and they're still looking into it on a physical health scale. They're starting to do a lot more research in electromagnetic resonance between human animals and the earth. Joe Dispenza, he's a medical doctor. His research into the electromagnetic frequencies of the head and heart coherence is a really good segue into this grounding, because we need that energy to have a starting foundation so that it can be as strong and heal. It is a healing energy. Yes, it can be considered, I guess, alternative by those that are not sure about it.
Yep.
If I can ask people to just take a moment and stay with us for this, I want you to imagine that you're your 6-year-old self again, and you're down the beach. What's one of the fun things you used to do? You might not like to go swimming, but we all stand on the edge of the wet sand and we burrow our feet into the sand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure those of us who grew up in the country, we used to do the same in winter with the mud because that's what kids do. They get down, they get dirty. They're very much in tune with nature.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more than we are as adults. However, the nice thing is there's a lot of evidence and research around getting back to those playful concepts of grounding, sinking your feet into the grass, spending some time to just connect with the earth and nature itself is really beneficial for our internal resonance.
Yeah, I like it. And even though there is a lot of scientific research going on at the moment, what you said breaks it down beautifully when you said in tune with nature. That's the whole underlying factor here of what, well, I believe it does for me.
Yeah.
And I think science is catching up with a lot of the theories about all of this where we do become in tune with nature when we ground ourselves.
Yeah.
I did do a little bit of research on this because I wanted to make sure that what I'm looking at and how I portray it in the podcast is accurate in relation to scientific research.
Yes.
So there are some things I did make notes of. One thing I found interesting in some of the research that's going on at the moment is it can reduce inflammation in the body.
Yeah.
Which I find that's extraordinary. So some studies do suggest that grounding can help reduce inflammation by balancing the body's electrical charge. And this can be in relation to conditions of arthritis, even heart disease they're talking about at the moment, and some autoimmune disorders. It's pretty important stuff.
It's very important. There was also, again, I do apologise, I can't remember who did the study, but there was a research study into the polarity of eggs.
Okay.
So different species eggs, and it didn't matter what species of egg when they measured the electromagnetic frequencies at the polarities, the feet or the bottom end of the egg was always the negative and the top was always the positive.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're a wealth of information, LJ. You know so much. It's amazing.
I like to read.
You like to read.
I do like to read.
That's really
I like to
cool.
be informed on really cool things because it helps me understand me.
Yeah.
So I guess grounding also, it's not only just getting in tune with nature, it's actually getting in tune with who we are too, because it gives you a sense of peaceful inner being.
This is what I enjoy just geeking out with you, because I learn as much as everybody else listening to what you have to offer. So thank you.
You're more than welcome.
It's awesome. What else we got? Improved sleep. We got, so grounding may promote better sleep.
Yeah, it's the relaxation effect.
Yeah. Regulating the body's circadian rhythms. I think we talked about circadian rhythms in our last podcast.
With the motivation.
We
touched on it a little bit.
Very,
very important.
Yeah, it can regulate your sleep patterns and it can reduce insomnia, which is interesting. Bear in mind these are still ongoing scientific studies, so I do believe a lot of this.
Yeah,
I do.
100%.
Yeah.
Again, another little bit of trivia for you is in the evening when you first yawn, you've got like 30 minutes to get into bed to capitalise on that circadian rhythm cycle. And each time you put it off, it's like an extra hour until you like 4 hours. Like you push your ability to get into decent sleep patterns.
So what do I do if I'm yawning at 11 a.m.? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah. We've all been there. I think that's the body's way of letting you know that your rhythm's probably out a little bit. I'm not a sleep study expert by any means. I'm only sort of taking a stab in the dark here. We all know that when we don't practice good sleep patterns, our cycles are a little bit messed up, and maybe that's an indicator for you that your sleep patterns are messed up. So keeping the ability to be grounded and help with the polarity of your system being more in tune and more relaxed will help you feel tired at the right points of the day. I think, that there's a theory, and I think there's something for it, but there's a theory that you should get up with the sun and go to bed with the sunset.
Yeah.
which is not really good if you live in Queensland in the middle of summer, because you'd be getting up at like 8 o'clock and going to bed at 11. So it doesn't really work that way.
Depends
However,
where you are. Yeah.
It does depend where you are, but it's certainly a good theory, and part of the grounding and getting good sleep, because sleep is so underrated for a foundational block around being motivated, your grounding, your ability to feel good, being able to flip your mindset. Sleep patterns need to be regular. So if you're somebody who needs to be in bed at 8:30, go to bed at 8:30.
Yeah.
Be unapologetically you, because that's what you need. Your body gives you so many signs around what you need if you choose to listen.
That's the important bit, if you choose to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will let my inverted commas friend know about that, the yawning at 11 o'clock, and I'm sure they'll be really appreciative of what you're telling them. Yeah. Improved circulation. Grounding's believed to help improve blood circulation by thinning the blood and reducing blood viscosity.
Yeah, it's got more to do with the physiological responses at the chemical cell level.
Yeah. I didn't know that one about the improved circulation. That was a new one for me.
So improved circulation also then helps to lower blood pressure as well.
Yeah.
Because
I like that.
you're not as tense. You're not in that state of readiness. It's not flight mode, but it is a state of readiness. And people who unfortunately have anxiety and a little bit on edge are always in a perpetual state of readiness, and your energy expenditure just to stay there is high. It's high energy expenditure. And grounding yourself, they've actually done again some really great studies around anxiety and walking on the grass, laying on the grass, getting, sinking your toes into a pot plant even.
Yeah.
If you have to.
Yeah, I get it. I think there's a lot in this, and it's something that, and this next point is something I actually believe in. I've experienced this myself, and it's better mood and mental clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've felt that myself, especially when I've been grounding myself. It may help improve mood and cognitive function by reducing stress, anxiety, depression, and symptoms.
Yep.
And it's been reported, some people report feeling more mentally clear and focused after grounding. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've experienced that myself. What about you?
Oh, definitely. When we're grounding and we're just taking those moments to exist without, having to think about anything, because we're just allowing ourselves to be fully present.
Yeah.
We breathe. And of course, breathing reduces stress. Reducing stress means that the stress levels go down, the blood pressure goes down, more oxygen to the brain, more clarity of function, more clarity of thought.
Yeah, yeah.
What I'd love to know is, do you have a favourite way of grounding? Like we've talked about a couple of different ways. Is there something that you practice regularly?
For me, it's grass.
Grass.
Yeah. I love grass. So if I'm, and I love my camping as well.
Yeah.
Travelling, motorbike riding, camping, anything like that. I know some people like the sand, like the beach. Some people like dirt tracks.
Yep.
There are other people like walking on concrete.
I think Tony Robbins was out in Sydney recently and they did the firewalk. Hats off to those people who did the firewalk. That's amazing.
That was last week.
It is also a form of grounding, I guess.
Yeah, that was last week. I spoke to some friends that went to that event and they loved it.
Yeah.
And the firewalk included. They said it was fantastic. So
wow.
It's very true. For me, it's grass.
Grass.
So sitting on the grass,
yeah,
or lying on the grass is for me. I feel immediately better. I do.
Nice.
I do. And even if I'm not reading or listening to music, just lying there, for me, I feel better pretty much straight away. So
if anyone happens to notice a random Dave sitting on their lawn, it's okay. He's just cupping a squat on the grass and just grounding himself.
I'm just grounding myself. So if you open your front window or look out your front door and just see
it's not a gnome. It's just Dave.
If I'm just lying on your front lawn, it's only a worry if like there's no grass there. And then you can ask, who are you and what are you doing here? Apart from that, if you got lawn, I'll be there. That's me. And it's okay.
I love that.
Yeah, and if you have coffee,
Is that part of the Coach Talk tour that's coming up? We're just going to be going to see on people's front lawns and hanging out.
Yeah, I'm going to make up a T-shirt that just says "I'm grounding." So when I'm lying on my back, they don't have to disturb me. They can just read it and walk away. And
don't call the police. I'm grounding.
we'll be okay. There's one point here that I did not know about, and maybe it's a more of a geeky sort of thing in the science field, but there are claims that it can reduce electromagnetic radiation exposure, which is interesting.
I don't know about that one.
No, I didn't know about that one. What I'm reading, I'll read directly here. Grounding can potentially reduce exposure to electromagnetic fields, EMFs, by providing a direct path for electrical charge to dissipate into the earth rather than accumulating in the body.
That gets back to the polarities we were just talking about.
Okay, because that's something I didn't know about.
Yeah, so energy, if you think about did you ever do electronics in school where you had a battery and you connected a wire to the light bulb and then you connected the circuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing.
Okay.
So when we take our shoes and socks off and we are allowing the energy to go back to the earth, we're completing the cycle of returning it. So we're not storing excess ions and...
I get that. When I was a young boy, I had an old radio that my grandmother gave me, and we connected a wire to, and my brother helped me do this. We connected a wire from the back of the radio to outside and wrapped it around a tent peg.
Okay.
And put the peg into the ground.
Yeah.
It increased the. It was like an aerial.
Yeah.
It boosted the signal, so we got clear radio, which is interesting. So there is obviously benefits in earthing something. So if we can earth a radio or earth something to get a benefit from that, why can't we earth ourselves?
We do need to, because anyone who knows anything about electricity needs an earth. So here in Australia, we have a three-pronged plug.
Yeah.
One is an earth.
One's an earth.
Because you need the earth to give the excess current somewhere to go. So practicing grounding is really, really important for our health and well-being.
So if we have a two-pronged outlet, which we do these days, how does that work?
That's a really great question. Again, it's not my forte for electronics. We would have to consult somebody who's more in it. But it's a great question.
I'm sure someone out there is going to put on the website, this is how it works.
Oh, please do.
Yeah,
please enlighten us. If you've got a knowledge on the two prongs, let us know.
It generates conversation.
That's exactly why we're here.
It's great. One thing I do like, and this is a final point here, is the benefits of grounding, according to scientific study, is it can accelerate recovery from exercise. I like that.
That's something, again.
I like that. There are studies that show that athletes and fitness enthusiasts sometimes use grounding to speed up their recovery after intense workouts by reducing muscle soreness and inflammation. It goes back to the first point we talked about, where we're reducing inflammation.
Yeah.
So these sort of benefits, and we talked about smiling in our previous podcast. This is something we can do in grounding that is also free of charge, doesn't cost us anything, it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't hurt anybody. It is something that if it has benefit to you, then continue to do it because it makes you feel good.
Absolutely. It's an investment into you, your time, your space, your health, and you're worth it. So I think the challenge for this one is...
I like challenges.
The challenge is going to be, especially with the nicer weather here in Victoria, if you happen to live in other parts of the country or overseas where your sunny side is a little bit more regular than here where we are in Victoria. But whilst we've got some nice weather coming, I would like to challenge you to go and sit out under a tree, take your shoes and socks off and just walk around on the grass.
See how you feel. Even if you've got that awareness of, how do I feel right now? What is coming up in me right now? And then you sit down, take your shoes off, ground yourself, give yourself 30 minutes. And at the end of that, ask yourself, how do I feel now? And see if you can detect a difference in how you are. Yeah,
absolutely. I love that. The hardest part of any challenge is actually starting. So if you can't do the full 30, do 5. Do 5 minutes because you're worth it.
Yeah, take action, get going.
Absolutely.
Our website, LJ, what have we got?
coachtalk.com.au.
And we are on?
Facebook, Twitter, and you can find the recordings on all major, wherever you can get music.
Yeah, Instagram as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're across it all.
contact us, say good day, please. Find us.
Before we go, massive shout out to Karen and I believe that Elsa as well. They've touched base with us and gave us some great suggestions. We love getting your feedback. They were just two of the beautiful people who'd reach out to us directly in terms of they know both Dave and I directly, and thank you for your time to actually give us that feedback. We're so grateful to you and everyone else for what you're bringing to our episodes.
The feedback we are getting is phenomenal, and to everyone that's contributed from both of us, it's great. Thank you so much, and please continue. We love to hear from you, and we hope that we are serving you in some capacity and giving you something to think about and giving you something to take away so you can take action, improve your life, and do the best you can do and live your best life.
Absolutely. So much gratitude to you. Have an amazing week, Dave.
Thanks, LJ. You too, and talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
See you, bye.